Hey, it's Topher right here on Geek Public Radio. Guess what? We're going to be talking about Halo. We're going to be talking of the movie or this series. We're going to be talking about how Elden Ring is a thing and a whole lot more. So stick with us.
You're listening to the GPR podcast, where two old guys, talk about new games, movies, most things geeky, and generally be old in front of your eyes. Not cool. Now, here's Topher and Crazy Chris, being all old.
Yes, we are being all old and whatnot here, having a good time.
That's the goal.
I'm trying to anyway.
I mean, we're old. That's all we can do. What up, everybody? It's Crazy Chris coming with you live on geekpublicradio.com, as well as in Facebook land and across all the spectrums like Twitch and other social media platforms. We are so happy that you have decided to join us today. Before we begin, make sure you guys head on down, click the like and subscribe button to be part of our amazing journey and growth. If you would like to do so, make sure you ring a lingy-dingy that belly button so that you can be notified every single time that we go live. And if you would be so kind and generous to support two amazing people and their amazing work to bring you the latest in geek culture news, you should consider becoming a member on geekpublicradio.com. And for all of my friends who don't think that I say exactly where to go to get that membership, it's on geekpublicradio.com under memberships. It's geekpublicradio.com memberships. For everybody out there, thank you guys so much who are already members. You guys are amazing. You are the oil that greases the bearing that causes this wheel to turn, and we are so thankful that you guys have joined us. A lot of crazy stuff to talk about today. Let's talk about Halo first. Let's just get the Band-Aid ripped completely off, and let's talk about Halo.
So I sat down and was trying to watch it. Just throw that out there. I put it on the thing, was doing all the stuff to like be in the moment and watch it. The stuff that has been coming out about it has not been
Positive.
Right. When they're talking about stuff like he's not even the main character, that they're not, like, they didn't care about the games, they just took what they could from the books and whatnot, and to do this, it was an alternate reality. It wasn't the game continuity, it was an alternate continuity, and all of this stuff, and you put all of that together, and it means it literally is only Halo in name only.
Right.
Other than that, it's generic sci-fi. So if you're wanting to go into this thing with the idea that you're going to watch a really cool Halo series,
emotional damage.
That's what's gonna happen when you get into this thing.
It's funny because it's true. Yeah, I was not impressed. Caught myself a single episode.
That's all they have out so far.
Yep. Okay, I didn't know. I was just like, nope, I'm not watching another one. So I didn't even know.
It was generic sci-fi. I mean, the fighting and whatnot was okay. It was like, okay, the combat
cinematics are pretty decent. From a production standpoint, it looks pretty good.
The CGI looks like something that was done on way less of a budget than what they had for the thing.
I honestly thought it looked pretty decent. To be fair to the production, I don't know what their budget was. I thought it looked okay. I mean, they spent. To be fair, your eye is far more critical about that than mine ever will be.
They spent way too much money. They quite literally said that because they didn't say because they spent so much money.
Right.
They've already greenlit it for a season 2 because they have money already sunk into this thing.
Listen, guys, we have to make more money.
The problem is one, they started off, it was elites only. That's the only Halo creature you saw on there.
Right.
I was half expecting, like, while during the fight, we're like, he's everywhere, like all of the fun stuff that's a part of, like the jumping up and kneeing everybody and then shooting them on the head,
right,
and all of the other stuff. Yeah, that was fun-ish, but it just seemed like bad choreography.
Yeah, it was not good
compared to what you would see from any of their other series.
Yeah. I don't.
It was.
I said this before when we had discussed Halo on this show. There is only one Halo series, and that is Red versus Blue, and that's it. Anything else will be sad and lonely and pathetic. And I was correct, and I am sad that I was correct because I was actually kind of looking forward. I decided to give it its fair shake because I'm one of those people that when I see something that looks at least mildly entertaining, I want to give it a shot. And I was like, this looks like it could be removed from a video gamer, which I'm able to do, thankfully, so I can enjoy movies like Mortal Kombat. That's why I can enjoy movies that are based on video games, like Doom. I liked Doom. It was absolutely terrible, but I
liked it too. I mean, yeah, when they did the whole kill cam thing, when he's so like, perfect. The thing where like, boom, now you're just like,
it was in first person. That was so cool.
I was like, okay, that's cheesy, but all right.
It worked out perfectly. It was so great. I loved it. I thought
Master Chief had his helmet off almost half of the episode, and it's like, this isn't Master Chief. This is an actor that they got on and saying, like, I need to be. I'll only take this if you see my face.
Right.
It literally was what it felt like. And I'm not saying he said that.
No, I have no idea what the actor's motivation was, but it's like Pedro Pascal from Mandalorian, and I'm not a particular big fan of the man himself, but the fact of the matter was that basically that entire series, you did not see his face. There are exceptions to that rule. There are a few of them.
There's a few times you saw his face. He took his helmet off.
The majority of that 90% of the show, you don't see his face. Because
you literally see Chiefs, whatever. And then the introduction is like, I'm, Master Chief Petty Officer.
Yeah. Which was weird.
Yeah. I was like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That was just
and they seem shorter. The Spartans don't seem to be
now, hold on
7 feet tall like they are.
In defense of Hollywood here, which I don't like to do, but I will play devil's advocate. It is extremely hard to find 7-foot actors.
No, but
and have
5 foot tall people did full Master Chief cosplays.
No,
that looked fantastic and were full height.
I don't know how practical those particular costumes would be in a
combat
have
scenario. You have 5. You can shoot him like Tom Cruise is like 5'4", but they make him look like he's 6'2". So you can't tell me you can't shoot these people in such a way that makes them look like they're at least 7 feet tall.
Yeah, but everybody knows it's what they do to Tom Cruise, so they're going to know that's what you're doing to Master Chief.
When they're all standing there and doing whatever, and they all line up, and they're literally like, these guys are running around like looking like they're maybe 6'5".
I love how salty you're getting over the because I know how much you love Halo. So it's killing you. And I'm just spoon feeding. I'm just like, yes, give me your hate.
It's like, Jesus, guys, come on. I mean, like I said, if some cosplayer on a limited budget can make an
actually believable Master Chief cosplay, looks looks really good.
Literally walk in where they got their feet in the little things that they're bent.
I mean, can we just be fair? The cinematics in Halo, Halo 5 or whatever it is, those almost look real. So I mean, we could have just, I don't know, CGI'd it up a little bit, made them look taller. I don't know, just an idea.
You're right. What's funny is
it was bad. I'm not
Little
going
Sonny
to
made
defend
the
it as a good thing because I disagree wholeheartedly with the concept of it being good because I don't think that it is.
Little Sonny made the comment to me that he thought he was waiting for Master Chief to look up because it's the same actor.
Yeah.
To look up and call Halsey dead wife. From American Gods. since it's the same actor who plays the leprechaun.
I know. And now yeah.
Which he had
I
way
didn't
too
know.
much hair for Master Chief, because Master Chief is supposed to have had all these things, whatever. So he's bald and
Yeah,
has all
the
of the
enhancements and the cybernetics, or
Yeah.
not cybernetics, but the augments, whatever they were called. And
be
also,
7 feet tall.
why would you have hair under a helmet that you're supposed to be wearing all the time?
Right.
I would.
See, people were like, oh guys, all these guys are just gonna be mad because they had like female Spartans and this. And I was like, no, female Spartans, they have
That's
black
kick-ass.
Spartans, they could do whatever. They can have.
Hey, listen here, buddy. Female Spartans are kick-ass, okay? I love to see some boobies on my Spartans. All right?
Just like they could throw Danny Trejo into a Spartan outfit. I'd be like, that's actually kind of cool.
Oh, yeah.
Machete with a vibro sword.
Yeah.
That would be,
Yeah. I mean, it worked in Mandalorian.
Yeah,
Worked great. It was awesome.
Just like, screw it, throw him in there. I don't care.
Or no, it was Book of Boba Fett where he was featured, which is phenomenal. The fact now that I can actually link Danny Trejo to every single universe that's ever been created, every single one of them,
except for the Halo yet. We need to
give it time. He'll be there.
Spice up the thing. If you're going to make a generic sci-fi and play with characters and give them the setups that aren't actual for the universe.
Yeah. Then let's show that some. There we go. There's our redeeming point of the feature. That's our redeeming point, is we have to have Danny Trejo come in mid-season. And that's really the only reason we're going to watch now. You give me Danny Trejo. Just promise me Danny Trejo at some point, and I'll watch every episode because I love everything that man is in. Haven't had a chance to meet him at a con. That
he
dude
was
is
at
phenomenal.
the con that you were at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was at Fort Wayne.
He walked through.
Yeah. Super cool dude. I try to sell him a book. I mean, hey, celebrities are people and celebrities have money. Why wouldn't I try to sell? Well, not all celebrities, that would be fair, but most celebrities they get paid. So why wouldn't I try to peddle my wares to a celebrity? They're trying to peddle me their signatures. So I feel like turnabout is fair play, right? I don't feel like I was doing anything disingenuous. But anyways,
I have a monitor going.
I see that it's going night time. Well, so small over there, I can't see anything. But yeah, it's a pretty lame show. But I've got you now. I've got you pissed off. So I'm gonna push the envelope, right? Because pissed off Topher, it's funny Topher and very chatty Topher, and I like that. That's my favorite type of Topher, is the angry elf Topher that just continues to fire away. So tell us all about Elden Ring and what a great experience.
Fuck a bunch of that game. Fuck that game in the ass with 6 foot of rubber cord.
If you guys have not seen, did you put that on Twitch? Okay,
I streamed it on Twitch.
Yeah. If you guys have not had a chance to watch him on Twitch, go to our Twitch page, go twitch.tv/Geek Public Radio, and go watch him play Elden Ring. He is so mad. You can, if you watch, or if you are a fan of the show of any length of time that you've seen more than a couple of episodes, you can clearly tell that Topher is angry at Elden Ring. He is
first
mad.
of all, who in their bright mind thought it would be fun to allow? I mean, granted, it could be useful.
It's a game for trolls by trolls.
Right. So, I mean, like, I don't care that it's hard. Like, hard mode games, I get it. That's,
it's a good challenge. It's fun. Dark Souls games are fun because they are challenging. They remind me of old school NES games where you just have to figure it out.
So, I died 75 times before I left the tomb.
He's not lying.
Because
he's not lying, guys.
Of those dumb little things. I never really paid attention to the little things that gamers can leave. Yeah.
Notes on the floor.
Like, hey, there's something cool at the bottom of this thing. I was like, oh, really?
Dead.
And then, so I was spawning back to the one point, and then I didn't realize that I was falling through the roof to a further back point, and that's where I kept dying. So I'm like, I had to save up at one point. And then I kept respawning back here and having to run through the same thing.
I'm telling you right now, Elden Ring is a giant social experiment. That's exactly what Elden Ring is. It is how much pain and punishment can we put you through, and you will still pay us money.
All I know is I was just like, okay, whatever. I'm just gonna go buzz through and get to playing the stuff. And I get outside, very first person has a little thing. So I message, I ask them questions.
Hey,
and
how's it going?
He basically says, you're going to die out here. And I was like, okay, well, I know that the big guy on the horse over there needs to not be over there when I go that way. So I'm going to wait. And then I read a little thing on whatever. It said that you kill this guy and you'll get all of this cool stuff. I was like, all right, cool. So I just whacked him once and he killed me 75 more times because every time I spawned right next to him and I would run like a bitch, like, no, motherfucker, God, stop.
Because of the subject nature of this particular stream, we're just gonna have to be a member stream. Our live is gonna be like YouTube's gonna be like, my God, these guys. No, watching you play that, I was in complete amazement that you had not thrown the controller or broken your mouse or something at least once. I played it for 36 seconds and I was like, and we're done. I don't have the patience for this right now. I have children. I can't do this.
No, like I'm seriously like, and he doesn't like the aggro didn't stop after I died.
Nope.
Like
not even a little bit.
Like
he still remembers that you went up to him and poked him.
And he turned around and like, I literally ran all the way back into the building. He followed me all the way back into the building. I went down the elevator back into the tomb area.
And he followed you.
He jumped down the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I finally went, done.
Now,
hit the button.
By the way,
bad thing
would
is,
you like to know what you should have done?
When
you went down the elevator, you should have immediately walked outside, waited for him, and then ran right back up the elevator because he can't fly. You would have won. You would have outsmarted him.
I was trying
but I know
to.
You were pissed off at that. It was over.
I was trying to get into the menu so I could like leave the game, and you can't do that if you're dead. So I'd spawn. I'd immediately try to leave the game, and he'd kill me. Like just as I was getting ready to click the go.
Quit game. You are dead. No, I clicked quit game.
And it's like literally like
confirm.
I literally was just sitting here going.
And you can't pause it, which is the worst part, like because you go into your menu and that's it. It's still live.
Yeah.
So you're just
he's still sitting here and like and hitting me like he hit me like 4 times and I died. I did all of these amazing combo things, spinning around and doing all this other stuff, and his health, like maybe I got him down half a bar was the closest I'd gotten to killing him. I'd baited like I'd run around down to the bottom when I'd spawn. He'd hit me once. I'd run around to the bottom. I'd drink a health potion, and then he would appear behind me and start hitting me. I'd spin around. I'd do all the crazy stuff. Then I'd run like a bitch and heal up, and then he'd hit me again. And then like I'm completely out of everything. I don't.
It was awesome. Just watching you, it was the greatest thing because I was like, I knew how mad you were. You were just like, oh, God.
I get mad. To be fair, though, I get mad when simple games become hard.
Right. And that's yeah.
If you're expecting
being
it
honest
to be,
with you,
if it's expecting it to be hard,
right? You had the expectation, but then you were like, I could tell you started to get that feeling that this game was literally cheese dicking you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what started to make you mad because it wasn't that you were dying. It was because of the way you were dying.
The people putting the thing there. Now I went through whatever they put them at the edge of the ladder. So like if you miss hitting the button to go up the ladder, you get the stupid thing and you have to hit it again, and then you could fall and die.
Right.
If you can, they do all of this stuff purposefully lining you up to commit suicide.
Lose. Yes.
And that was like, it would be a good, I would go back to playing it right now. It was money wasted because if they just wipe all of those notes off, I'd play the game.
Nope. It's a game for trolls designed by trolls. Yeah, it's the guys that brought us Dark Souls. What was expected? Those are the biggest trolls in the universe. Literally, there's a part in Elden Ring where you kill the boss, you kill him, and he kills you. You die. There's no getting around it. You die. And you're sitting there going, no, I killed him. And you're freaking out because you think you're dead. Like, it's a trolly game, and it's designed that way. and I love it. I love games
I
like
was
that.
so frustrated.
I will
like,
sit down, and when
like,
I have
it's-
time to myself, and I will play it probably around May, June time. I will sit down and I will
But
actually
by
play
then,
Elden
it
Ring.
will literally be nothing. Like you'll be running across notes.
Yeah.
Like you're literally all of the graphics
the
and stuff
ground-
that
the-
look that fantastic will be
in
covered by notes.
I know. I can't wait.
That is
That's what my first experience with Elden Ring. Well, my second technically should be. That's what I want it to be. I want it to be sticky note heaven. Like literally, I want every tree to be covered in sticky notes, look like a sticky note forest.
right.
That's
But
what I want.
what I'm saying is they've done it in such a way that it makes it impossible to do
They'll
certain
clear
things
it.
that you need to do.
They've already been apparently. So the rumor mill circulating. Now, granted, this is on a Reddit board, but most of the guys on Reddit, especially the official Reddits, are pretty decent about the information they give out. They're trolly. Yes, you have to pick through and sort. It's kind of like digging through the garbage for a meal.
Like
but
how
you
many
can find it.
times like there's a brick wall and it says there's a hidden
There's a
passage.
hidden passage here, and you spend 4 hours staring at the brick wall trying to find the hidden passage. It's not there. Yeah.
Yeah, literally that was me.
But apparently, players have been complaining to the developers that the abundance of notes in the game have made it more difficult to play, that it's actually causing issues with the gameplay. So there have been considerations that they may, in fact, reset specific servers, or at least at minimum open a new server to allow fresh players to play without having issues graphically.
Like
I still want my sticky note forest, but go ahead. I want the castle walls to be sticky notes.
So I mean, like I was saying though, like I get there if it's supposed to be an easy game. Like I've been in, you've gotten me stuck on 76 again.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a mindless fun.
And this is actually the first time outside of just building
that you've actually played. You're playing the story.
No,
and
like
trying to get stuff
I am
done.
like level 25 now, or whatever.
Hey, look at you go! Proud of you.
You know, well, I was
little baby
level,
left the nest.
I was a level 7 for the last
6 months.
Well, ever since I bought it,
Yeah.
because I would just basically go out and farm the materials and then sit and make cool shit, tear it down,
Yep.
make more cool shit.
Which
tear
you
it
get
down.
XP for doing that, but once you hit like
That
level
was-
10,
That
you're
was
done.
literally all the XP that I was getting was building cool shit.
There's
now
an
I'm-
area that's really close to you that's actually perfect for farming XP at early levels, and you can farm XP, you can farm materials, you can farm all kinds of cool stuff.
I'm stuck in the level of development where I need gears like crazy.
Yeah, because you probably over leveled your gear, so now the enemies have leveled up with you because that's what they're supposed
Well,
to
no,
do.
I'm talking about gears for like making the turrets or
Oh,
making
yeah.
The doors.
Oh,
for,
you haven't learned not to use turrets yet.
It's the only, literally, that's the only thing that saved my buildings from being broke down by super mutants.
Yeah,
in the last
move your base.
3. I have.
just move your base.
I've moved it.
Put your
5
base.
times.
Put your base on stilts. No more super mutant problem.
No, they just sit out there and break the pillars down.
And they will spawn on your base while you're at your base.
Yes.
So when you log off, make sure you're not at your base. And then when you log in, your base will never spawn until you get to it. So that way, while you're out doing what you got to do, you actually don't have to manage your base. I do that all the time. I literally spawn at different locations. So that way, when I spawn in the next day, I don't have to worry about things randomly being in my base, blowing my stuff up. I actually have a pretty nice base. I mean, it's nothing spectacular. I've got pictures of spectacular bases that have been built.
I'm starting to get mine together. I have my one big place that has some stuff in it.
Yeah.
And whatnot. And then you go up the stairs and that's where all my displays and what's not. And then I got the underground bases and I just started throwing them where in strategic places. So you come in, I have this nice little compound that has 2 machines because I have like almost 1,000 things in my vendor.
That's nope. See, I can't do that either. Like
No, you say that, but I've made more caps off of letting those things vend.
Oh yeah.
Than anything. Like I will go hang out and do whatever and just watch people.
I'm not telling you not to run your vendor. That's foolish if you don't do that. Like I have stuff in my vendor.
I constantly sit about
lots of stuff.
2,000 caps.
Yeah.
Even when I go and I need to make another stim pack.
So have you played in the last? Did you play yesterday at all?
I played a little bit yesterday, a little bit today.
So did you do any of the mole miner quests that you were? Okay.
I've had a few of them pop up, and
there are the ornate mole miner pails. You can buy them at vendors across Appalachia. So you can go to different train stations and you can actually buy the empty pails and craft them.
Yeah, I have like I've gotten like 7 of them that have dropped.
Now to buy these pails is 2,000 caps. I bought 10 of them yesterday because I had 35,000, almost 35,000 caps. And I was
wondering,
you
like,
get capped out. You hit 40,000, you're capped out. You can't get any more.
I was wondering why that when you were looking at everything, it, like looting all the things, because the mole miner suits give you gear, so I was just farming them for gears, so I could repair stuff and
I mean, if you break everything, if you have Fallout first, and especially if you're low level, pick everything up. Don't skip anything. Every single thing.
Like I said, that's how I have entire sets of outfits. Like I have the military fatigues.
If you have a fireman's uniform, hear my words. If you get the fireman, the responders fireman outfit, you only have one. There's only one.
Is there?
Yep. You only get one per playthrough. If you have it, it's called the responders fireman.
Uniform. No, it was the other responders.
Yeah, you get all kinds of you get the responders, paramedic gear, all that stuff. But if you get the fireman's uniform, do not sell it. Do not get rid of it. It's a tradable only.
That's the thing that you get from joining the fire jumpers.
It's been so long since I've had to play through. I believe you get it after completing the responders quests. There's a responders, like it's a miniature quest line when you first go into that little town, not Sutton.
I did all of that, and then
then you probably have it. Just don't get rid of it. Don't script it. Don't scrap it. Don't sell it. Nothing. Just hold on to it because it's a tradable item and is very, very rare because you can only get one per playthrough.
I finally unlocked the barn woods, or the barn siding stuff.
Oh yeah. But yeah, Fallout 76, the reason I keep it, because people are like, I can't believe you still play that. And I'm like, it's more fun with friends, or if you're a crafter type and you just like to build crazy stuff, it's a great game. It's super fun. And they've done a lot of work with it. And it is far less than what it should be, but it's way further along now than it ever was. And I will give them credit. We were actually talking the other day that we miss the alien event. We were all talking about it, and we're like, you know what? Kind of miss the aliens. That was kind of fun. Something to do every hour. For 2 weeks, we had aliens. Every hour on the hour, we could go fight aliens. It was kind of cool. It was a neat little thing.
I'm still waiting on somebody to, connect their account to their Bethesda account so I can
throw them
a friend thing so I can stop running around here by myself.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Because it's literally my 25 level ass. And everybody else is like 253, 270. Like, and there's only like
you'll get there.
10 people
get there.
on the servers that I'm popping in on.
Almost level 600. You'll get there. I'm like 589, 590.
I have people
on one character. I have another character's like 150. Another one's like 140.
I have people who literally, when I pop in, they will go to my thing and leave stuff.
Yeah, leave stuff like in front of your vendor or right on your porch.
Yeah,
yeah. Those stuff.
Well, I was laying down because I had to use the restroom, so I just went ahead and. The easiest way to not time out was to go to your base and lay down. And then I woke up, or I got myself up, and there was 3 duffel bags laying, like they opened the door, saw me there, went, oh, he must be needing health, and gave me 100 and some sim packs. Like 3 different people, because there's 3 different bags. Like they were laying, and then they were different looking bags, each one.
That's phenomenal. I can't argue. That's pretty great. And you're lucky. Like that's on the PC though, because you know what PlayStation players would do? They'd go into your base and they would build like a whole bunch of crap outside your base and just grief kill you in your base.
Well, see, are you automatically flagged PvP or only when you
there's a way to get around that.
Well, that's what I was at. Like I was wondering because I know you're flagged PvP when you
hit level 5, you're flagged PvP, but you can turn pacifist mode on, which will prevent you from being engaged in PvP.
Right. However, what I'm saying is but at the moment you grab one of those unclaimed things, that pacifist mode goes away.
However, what they do is they build. It's a glitch. They're not supposed to do it, but they build this base. It's a specific base. I believe it's more. There's mortars involved and some other stuff. And then what happens is a player will go to that base it's called a grief base. They'll go to that base. They will aggro, and then they'll warp to your base nearby, and the base will attack you. Will attack them at your base. So it'll blow everything up, and you will just become collateral damage, and there's nothing you can do to stop it other than just shutting your base down and moving it. That's all you can do.
Sorry, when you say
It's funny. We do it to people. I mean, we never do that to anybody ever, but it is a particularly useful tool by trolls when there are buttholes on a server who refuse to
just
just
one
play
thing
by the
that
rules.
I like, because so far everybody that I've popped into
You're
a
a
server
baby
with,
level. That's why. I mean,
everybody's been cool about it.
you hit level 50, anywhere from 50 to 100. All of that niceness will stop. They will just expect you to know exactly what you're doing.
I was running through doing whatever, and I claimed a base to follow through one of the storylines. I claimed one of the workbenches at the dam, or like right next to the dam or whatever, and was doing whatever. I was trying to do the things just for the caps and the stuff, and I ran away to go grab something else. Like, I was done with everything. A guy came, did it, set up all of the stuff that I couldn't, or that I was, he put the generator, a new generator, and got the recyclers working and whatnot.
Right.
And then waited for me to come back, and he's like, "Hey, dude, you can go back and claim. I'm not gonna mess with
PvP. You. See, when you get older, or when you get to a later level, they'll tell you that, then kill you.
Because I was like,
they'll be like, no, it's fine. Go ahead and claim it. And then you turn it on, which automatically flags your PvP.
Right.
And then they can just kill you.
But see, that's the thing, is I don't go through and grab those workbenches unless it's directly tied to something that I'm working on.
Right. Now, I will say, speaking of
I've
things,
gone down the list and said, okay, this workbench is tied to these plans. I have a 1 in so many chance of
it's a good way to get plans pretty early. But speaking of plans early, and being a great leader, I have found out that I am not. So real quick, touching base, Frostpunk 2 has been announced. That was announced back sometime in August. The actual date was kind of leaked, but it really wasn't. January 2024 is supposed to be Frostpunk 2. Now, that's still 2 years away, but 11-Bit Studios came out and they were like, listen, if it didn't come from us, it's a false story. Liars shall be punished, which is a direct kind of nod to the way that their game is played. So Frostpunk is one of those. It's a survival. It's a real-time strategy survival game where you're not fighting anything but your own citizens and the elements. The entire purpose is to keep your people alive. You're the leader. They've elected you, blah, 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 blah. And if you don't do that, they banish you to the bitter cold. The whole purpose is that you're supposedly the last city on Earth. You're the last big city, right? And that's what the goal is. You're the last city. You get this generator.
Like you're in a city in the world of
Frozen Hellscape. Like on Hoth. Like, just picture
the
planet Hoth.
What was the
Snowpiercer?
Yes.
Yeah. It's essentially like that. Essentially like a giant city. Where they find this, you get this crater. Essentially, you get this big crater, and then they drop down this generator. It's a geothermal generator, and it produces heat. And then you build stuff around it in a circle, by the way. There's no grid. I mean, the grid is technically there, but it's 360 degrees. It's a 360-degree grid where buildings kind of have, they're built in a circle around the heat, as opposed to being put in squares where it wouldn't really make a lot of sense because it's a circular generator, right?
Right.
And it's kind of a cool concept. I like that kind of grid. It was fun. It's presented a pretty unique challenge, like trying to make sure you place buildings a certain way, because some buildings are a little bit bigger than others. So how do you build your streets? How do you build your steam core, steam vents, stuff like that to keep the city warm? But the temperature will fluctuate. It'll go down, it'll go up, it'll go back down. And the colder it gets, the more people get sick. They get frostbite. They can't work. So it actually affects the way your mechanics in the game
Civilization work. Meets Snowpiercer.
Meets survival horror. Like, it is hard. And I'm telling you right now, I had it on standard difficulty, man, just medium. Like, I didn't even put it on hard mode. I just put it on standard because I was like, let's give this game a fair shake. Let's see what's going on. I put that game on medium. I got thumped 3 times in a row. And they go quick. If you're paying attention and you're doing the things you're supposed to do, it'll go pretty quick.
See, like,
but you get like a book of laws. You get all of these things that impact the way you build your society, and your people will freaking rebel if they don't like what you've chosen to do.
That sounds a whole lot like an updated version of Pharaoh.
It is. I remember playing Pharaoh. That it is very much like that. those
My wife
ideas.
plays it all the time,
Pharaoh's a fun game.
and
I
she
love
goes through and does all the
Yeah,
stuff.
and
And
I've played it so
Bass
many.
Day, and
I've played it so many times that it makes my brain hurt. But again, not in that standard grid format, and it is a high maintenance game. If you miss something, you're screwed and you pay for it. There's no ifs, ands, and buts. You have 2 meters. You have hope and discontent. If hope drops below discontent, people start getting ticked off. They don't want to work as much. They get sick. They take sick days. They rebel. They form coalitions against you. Then you have to like fix it, and then you get it's nuts. It is completely freaking nuts.
Just go totalitarian and start executing
Well,
people
you would
live on
think
stage.
nope. You would 100% think that that's the case. Nope, doesn't matter. They'll still overthrow you. Like they will rebel and overthrow you. Like you cannot just stomp your way through. They will kick your ass. And that's what it is. The minute discontent reaches the maximum, it's over. The minute that discontent meter hits maximum, you're gone. And if there are things that you can do, like if you do things that are like, if you present yourself as a benefactor and as helpful, you can raise hope. And if the hope maintains a certain level, it's fine. But this is a scenario-based game. Doesn't matter how good you do, your hope at one point at the end of this particular scenario drops all the way down. And there's nothing you can do about it. It just drops. It's literally built for you to lose. And if you have not built your society well, the minute that happens, you're screwed. You're screwed. There's nothing you can do because the timer starts ticking down. It's like you have X amount of time to get your hope back up to like 15 or 20% to prove to your people that you can do what you're supposed to do as their leader. And if you don't, see ya.
Yeah, so that game would not be
and
me.
that's the saddest. It's the saddest
I
exit scene, by the way. It's outside of the crater where they built this thing, and it's just one dude, and he's just like, like walking through the snow, no gear, no equipment, just trudging through the snow, and you're like, oh, that's me. They banished me. It's awful.
Like you'd be like, the beatings will continue until
morale
improves.
I mean, it's like that, but it's savage.
It's
And
like,
I have enjoyed
that
it.
quarter of the thing is starting to be upset. Well, we'll just turn off the heat.
I do.
And then
I do.
freeze them. Well, they're all dead. Okay, well, we'll
that's
turn it back on and let people
the generator.
repopulate the
The
area.
generator runs on coal. Now there are ways to upgrade this stuff, which is important. But that's the thing. You have to decide which upgrades are important at a specific time.
See, I'd end up being a tyrant. Like,
oh no, I tried that path. I really did. I was like, I'll just be a tyrant. Screw you guys. Go to work. Go to work 24 hours a day. If I want you to work 24 hours,
well,
you
see,
will
I wouldn't do the 24 hours a day, but it was like we start hearing grumblings, and then those people aren't there anymore.
Yeah, you can't do that though.
See, that's
you can take certain people and unalive them, but all that does is create corpses you have to dispose of, or your discontent continues to rise until it's disposed of, which is great because you get a technology that allows you to do that. Cool. You can build new buildings. You can build faith build. No, it's terrible, dude. It is hard.
Quite literally.
It's fun, but it's hard.
Like you got to feed the machine. Like you want to stay alive. You want to stay warm.
Feed the machine. Yeah.
All of these people that are dead now, throw them in the machine.
I will tell you right now, that is singularly the one thing I feel like was totally missed. That should have been an option, and it's not. It's either burial pit, which is the most efficient route, but people get ticked. They get a little pissy. Because you're literally just disposing of their loved ones in a pit. Like they're like,
right.
That's kind of crappy. But it is efficient, and you don't waste a lot of resources building burial sites and stuff like that.
Burn the rest of it.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, that looks like meat to me.
Mm-hmm.
But that's actually one of the harder things to manage in that game is food. That's actually what gets me most of the time, is that trying to harvest the food is extremely difficult because people eat the food fast as hell. Like just
that's
fast
just
as hell.
Real life. Like a town the size that we're in, quite literally, when they missed the truck, we're almost completely empty of like half of the stuff, and that was just one truck.
One truck, yeah. Oh, this fall, by the way, for those that are watching the news, don't panic, y'all, but maybe start stockpiling on some canned goods while you can. Just go ahead and get some pastas, some stuff that'll last you a long time. And by the way,
all the stuff that I'm allergic to.
Yeah, that. But by the way, for anybody who's wondering, the proper serving size of spaghetti, just so you are aware, is your thumb. The bundle of spaghetti is the size of your thumb. That is your serving size of spaghetti. That is actually how much spaghetti you're supposed to eat. And that will fill you up. And people are like, that doesn't fill you up. And I'm like, I know you make your 5-gallon jar of spaghetti, but how many times do you have leftovers? Because you literally made too much spaghetti.
Right, but that's never a bad thing. Like
no, you can reheat it the next day and things like that. But I'm just saying,
like that's when
you can make your pasta last a lot longer if you do the recommended serving sizes. Welcome to America, where we don't do that. I've just learned a lot about like keeping people alive. You can make soup last a really long time. It just pisses everybody off because they don't like gruel.
Right.
Apparently, they don't like sawdust either. Just for the record.
Like why are you pouring more water into that?
Because it'll last longer. But yeah, it's actually an incredibly fun game. It's challenging as it is. It's definitely one that I'm going to be like, okay, I know what I'm supposed to do now, and I'm going to go ahead and just get it done because I've tried every option that fails, so I know what doesn't work. It's a learning game for sure, and it's cool because each scenario, while it's the same, the events.
I'm going to need somebody with bigger thumbs to make my portions.
But the game itself is unique every time you play it. So the circumstances, like I didn't have my first death the last playthrough. I didn't get my first death until like day 19. So I'd managed to keep everybody alive for 19 days, which does not happen. Apparently, like most playthroughs, it's like the 9th or 10th day you get your first body, and that's just how it works. I got really lucky this last playthrough. Still wasn't good enough. It's crazy sauce. And of course, I ended up losing like a team of scouts because I was like, "Hey, go fight that bear. I need bodies for my factory." They lived. The survivors lived, and they trudged their way back to.
Survivors lived.
Yeah, the survivors lived. The scouts died, but there's 5 scouts, and there's like 25 bodies. And I was like, I need factory workers. Bring them home. Buy scouts. I don't care.
Right.
The game that made me hard, by the way. Like I'm a hardened a-hole at this point. I'm like, I don't care anymore. But the amputees, burn them. I don't care. Can't work. Useless. They're just bodies for food. Get them out of here. I'm ruthless now. I'm like, I don't care. So that's what I've done. I'm like, they're like, but the sick, exile them. I'm over it. I'm over them not working. Exile them. Just more people I have to feed. I've determined that if the apocalypse ever does arrive, that I will make a wonderful rebuilding leader. I will be a terrible despot until the world is rebuilt, and then I will happily ride off into the sunset.
Like, this is what we got to do to get things done now.
Now, right? In like 15 years, I look at Negan now, and I'm like, huh, that makes sense. Like, I see what
Speaking
I'm seeing what you're doing now. I haven't watched any Walking Dead lately, so
neither have I. But
apparently they got the new one. There's a new one coming out. New York, something about New York. New York.
I'm over zombies. I was over zombies a long time ago.
Yeah,
I know Walking Dead is literally a show about people that happens to have zombies.
Yeah,
but after season 2, I was like, no, I'm done.
Wow, I made it 4 times further than you did. I think I'm on season 7.
Yeah, no, like season 2, I watched season 2. I was like, all right, now I'm not.
Yeah, it's
I stayed up like because some of the stuff that I wanted to watch was like right after Talking Dead.
Right.
So that's how I like.
That was a fun show.
You know, some of the stuff that was going on was
Bo was thumping the floor and it was making me nervous. I was like, what is happening? Why is the floor shaking? I look and it's Bo. Okay.
But
being greeted by the big hairy dog.
Big dog. But speaking of, a show that came from a comic book,
yes,
we now have our movie that has spawned
a comic book. What? Wait, no. Technically a book that spawned a movie that spawned a comic book. We are a multimedia powerhouse now, by the way. We now officially have every licensed form of media available for storytelling.
Mhm.
We have an Audible. We have a physical book.
Which
now
is-
coming to hardback. We're
yeah,
getting a
no.
hardback now too. And if you guys want to check that out, go to blackbookmovie.com and then you guys can get the book, the Blu-ray or DVD, whichever you prefer. Some people still prefer DVDs. I get it. You can find the Audible. You can find the comic book. Everything that you want to get is available for you. So the fact that you haven't bought a copy,
we're waiting on
That's on you.
physical copies to be printed, but you can get the comic on Kindle.
Yep,
So you can have it there on your phone, and
it is
read
ready to
the
go. And
first
that's also on blackbookcomic.com.
the Black Book.
Blackbookcomic.com. Where you guys can pick up your own copy of that. Rich said we have the digital copies available. I finally got my hands on it, and it is beautiful. And I was so excited, man. You guys killed it. Our artists did a phenomenal job, man. They created something, and I mean it. I was skeptical about the idea at first. I was like, man, this could work if it's done correctly. Even if it's not, it's gonna look cheesy. It's gonna look terrible. And they nailed it. They nailed it. It looks like a legitimate. I mean, it is a legitimate comic book, but it actually has a big publisher comic feel, and it looks great. I'm very happy with it, and the story was cool. It was engaging, and when I was finished, I was like, we need to fund the second one right now. I need more comics.
There's a part of that.
We need to do a comic book guys episode about the Black Book comic.
Where there was a
Yeah,
somebody who
self-aggrandizing promotion. Go ahead.
we had when I'd sent out the same, there was one section of the comic that they were like people who had backed us and got the digital copy already. It's like I wasn't expecting that.
No, I know exactly what scene they're talking about too, and it was like,
I'm not expecting that in a comic book.
It was satisfying too. It was very satisfying when it occurred because you were like, oh, it's going to be something like, oh, nope, next panel. Wow. Okay, that happened. Cool. Sweet. Next panel. Let's go. Keep it moving. Keep it moving.
Yeah, that's the thing is each comic's gonna have those moments where you're like, oh, this is gonna go. Oh no,
nope, didn't go where I thought it was going.
Oh, okay.
Okie dokie.
That thing's on the table now.
Okay, we've opened up a door. Let's see what's on the other side. And that's what's really cool about it. So yeah, theblackbookcomic.com. You guys can find your digital copy. It is available, as Topher mentioned, on Kindle. So make sure you check that out. As always, we thank our sponsors over at Rutledge Productions for keeping us going, motivating us, cracking the whip when we get out of line. You guys have been absolutely amazing. Thank you guys so much for that. I've got a cool date tomorrow with Scott. I'm going to do some interesting things for the film.
Yep.
So that's going to be cool. We're going to get some special effects and some other stuff geared up for the movie. So
you got to take pictures of
I know Don has already messaged me. He's like, we're take pictures. So I'm like, have fun.
Well, I told him that that's not something we need to promote.
No, I'm not going to. I'm going to take pictures, and then if we want to later on, we can put them in like a behind the scenes reel. That's fine. But that's not something I'm going to be putting on social media.
Right.
Obviously, for a few reasons, we're not going to be putting what is happening tomorrow on social media. That's why I haven't mentioned what it is. Rather, it's just a cool thing that's going to be going on. I'm going to a punk show tomorrow too. So tomorrow night, after I get that done, I'm heading to a punk show. It's the first one for a while. So shout out to. I'm doing two. We're doing Stephanie and Fred Marlowe. Steffi has actually joined us on this film that I'm going to be in from the guys at Night Art Productions. Shout out to them as well. Cool group of people. They made Experiment 53. We got to talking and chit chat, and they found out that I had done some acting work. And they actually asked me to be in their next film. So I'm actually going to be working on their next film. Be working in their next film. I'm very excited about that. And I have a particular friend, Stephanie, who is a makeup artist. She does phenomenal special effects makeup, and she does really cool work. So I mentioned her name, and now she's actually going to be a part of the film with us. So shout out to her for landing that. That's freaking phenomenal, Stephanie. Very proud of you. And Fred and Stephanie also love to host these cool punk shows. And every single one of them that I've been to, I've always met interesting people. I've always had a good time. And so shout out to them for always putting on a cool show. They've hosted punk bands from California, Chicago, over, I think, New Jersey. They've had a punk band from Jersey. Several of them from the East Coast have come along. The Tennessee, there's one from Michigan. So they get a lot of especially during the pandemic, like nobody wanted to host like little punk shows anymore. All the smaller venues couldn't open. So they opened up their doors and they hosted these shows, and they were phenomenal. So shout out to them for allowing the punk scene to continue to thrive in Central Indiana. You guys are cool. I really do appreciate it. You guys have been amazing. It's where I got to meet Misunderstood and the guys from Fiber and others, and it's just been absolutely amazing. I have made some cool connections through those shows and their efforts to keep the punk scene alive. So shout out to them.
Awesome.
Yep. But no. This is the part where you talk, because I don't know. I feel like I'm missing a sponsor, and I'm
Lifeway.
I am so sorry that I keep missing this. I'm apologizing to you. Look, right here. Right here. You would figure by now that I would know exactly what it is that I should be promoting. And the problem is, I haven't actually taken my LifeWave patches like I'm supposed to. But had I taken my LifeWave patches, my memory would be far sharper than it currently is. I would be able to present to you guys out there in Geekland this phenomenal product. These are the LifeWave patches. And what it is it essentially takes specific cells and implements a scientific process that helps to rejuvenate them, make you feel younger, make you feel fresher makes you feel a lot better than you've ever felt in your entire life. Honestly, it makes you feel like a young man again. I absolutely have no complaints whatsoever. And when I do adhere to my schedule of patch taking, I feel a lot better. I feel a lot younger. That is why my beard looks so crisp and phenomenal every single morning. It's not really, it actually has nothing to do with beard growth whatsoever, but it does actually help rejuvenate things like testosterone, helps you heal a little bit faster if you happen to tear muscles or things like that. It has been scientifically proven to enhance your performance in a safe manner. Now, obviously, LifeWave patches are not going to help you regrow lost limbs, and they should not be used in the case of a medical emergency. Obviously, consult with your doctor if that is the case. But if you want to feel healthier, younger, look better, honestly, and some of you could probably use it, make sure you check the guys out at lifewave.com. And if you want to get your own, you can go to lifewave.com/onelove7, or you can contact them directly at Topher
Barry at onelove7.com.
There it is. Thank you guys so much over at LifeWave. We really do appreciate you. All right. There we go. Now that was the last one. I was like, I know I'm forgetting it.
Oh, you're forgetting one.
Bearded branding.
No, I was going to say Humble Bundle.
Humble Bundle.
Yeah, so they have a lot of cool stuff.
Listen,
they are
last
backing...
week screwed me up so bad.
They have a lot of cool stuff. Like one of the packet that they have, one of the packages they have for a bunch of cool games and whatnot that really helps Ukraine.
Yeah, the Ukrainian bundle, that was actually really cool. You and I talked about that a couple weeks ago. Something that they offered. I think it was maybe done last week even.
Yeah,
they're awesome.
They are awesome. Really, really cool. They've helped out like millions of charities so far. Like they've donated millions to different charities. Go there. The link will be in the description.
Linky in description.
Go there, help them out, get some cool stuff. I think it was like, well, the one that I looked at was for $25. I got $143 worth of stuff.
No, like seriously,
and
the Ukrainian bundle even has Back for Blood. It's got different. It's the Pathfinder 2.0.
Yeah, they have books, PDFs, or they have book stuff there. You can get video games. You can entire courses. If say you want to learn how to code in C++ or C+ or C# or whatever, they have
C++.
They have packages where they have all of the courses stuff right there for the price of like a third or a tenth of the price that it would cost you to go get this stuff. And they're like, they have it.
Yeah, and the fact that a lot of their proceeds and stuff like that go to charity, and like you said, you could pick up that Ukrainian bundle down there. If you guys are going to do that and you are interested in doing that, and we highly encourage that you do, make sure you click on our link. It helps us out tremendously. And it also helps you guys as well. So click on the link in the description below, and you guys can check out all of the things that Humble Bundle has to offer, and maybe find something that suits your needs for a fraction of the price that you would pay just going to just directly to a website or something like that. Humble Bundle offers all of that for you. So check them out. Link in the description below. And then finally, Bearded Branding, where if you are an aspiring artist, a musician, or any type of talent that would just like to take your advertisement and things like that to the next level, we here at Bearded Branding are here for you. Sponsored, of course, by me and Topher, yours truly, the Beard is the man. You can absolutely join with us, and we will help to create a new website for you. Showcase all of your talents, your artwork. If you happen to be a musician, if you would like, there's even a package where you can have a music video produced by us. This is an award-winning studio, by the way, just letting you know that we have won awards for the movies that we have made. We are not just a flash in the pan. We are growing every single day, so you have a chance to join with us at a fraction of the cost that some other companies would build your things for you. So that is something that you can do. So check it out at beardedbranding.com. Find out if that fits your particular lifestyle. We have several packages available, so find out what works for you and join us in helping to build your brand. Respect the beard.
All right. So I am out of complaining about Halo and
I'm
Elden
not.
Ring
I'm
and
not.
all of that stuff.
I have so much more to complain about. I just can't until we get to the member section. Then I can complain about stuff.
So
Disney's a dumpster fire. Go ahead.
So I'm Topher.
I am Crazy Chris, and I'm shaking my mic really hard. Sorry.
We will see you guys next week right here at geekpublicradio.com.
Roll the outro.
You've been listening to the GPR podcast, where two old guys talk about old. Talk about new games, movies, most things geeky, and try not to poop in their diapers while they're talking. Thanks for listening to the show. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, find us on Twitter at Free Geek Radio, on Facebook and Instagram at Geek Public Radio, and the website geekpublicradio.com. We'll see you next time.